Hi Best Buds, it's Cathy with Cathy's Garden, and I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're going to be doing all kinds of things. We're going to be embossing, we're going to put a gold edge on, we're going to use some napkins, we're going to be collaging, and we're going to make this adorable fall themed flip book. So open it up like this, and then you have your pages in here. You could pop this into a fall journal. You could pop it into your satchel. You could give it as a teacher's gift or even a thank you gift. So let's get started and let me show you how I made this. Now I started with a piece of cardstock, and my cardstock is a light craft color. Kind of got some stuff on that side. Let's just use this side to collage on. And then what we're going to do is we're going to be bringing in some pieces of our book pages. I have a little bit of water in here with a flat brush. I have my white school glue. Now I've added water to this, so I don't measure, but let's just say I add this much glue and this much water. Then of course you need to shake it up a lot. So you all know how to collage, right? So I like to use the white school glue. I know some people like to use a glue stick. That's all personal preference. You use what you like. So this is how I do it. I take my brush and I brush out my white school glue onto my cardstock, and then I take my book pages, and I usually like to overlap them on the edge, and then I just collage just like this, and I just keep going until I fill up my whole page. Easy, simple, it's not difficult. So I end up with this when it's done and dried, and as I said before, I usually overlap the edges. So now, since it's dry, I'm just going to take my scissors and I'm going to trim around the edge. I just find it easier if I trim around the edge now before I do my napkin. Now also, after I made my first one, I realized it would probably be a good idea to go ahead and collage this back side, or whatever side you want to call this, the other side, because we are going to want to have that when we make our flip book, because there's collaging here, and there is, of course, collaging underneath of the napkin. But I didn't do this, and I didn't have enough time to do it and let it dry and all that good stuff, so I will be doing that quickly before our next step. You'll see in a minute. So you've got your collage of your book pages and it's all dry. This is when you're going to bring in your napkin. Now you guys, I just recently purchased this last weekend from Hobby Lobby. They were 50% off. They're $4.99, so 50% off of $4.99. That's very reasonable for all these napkins. Now it is a smaller, I would say cocktail size napkin, but it's still a really good price. So I'm going to open it up. Now most napkins are 3-ply. These are 3-ply. I like to scratch the edge and have the plies come apart. Some people like to use tape. Personally don't like to use tape because it messes up. I find that it messes up. But if you like that method, then use that method. I mean, goodness gracious. You use what you like, right, guys? So this is the way I like to do it, and you can do it the way you like to do it. So now we've got that removed. Very simple. And we're going to be applying our napkin onto our cardstock. Now, as you can see, There's a little bit here that isn't covered. You could either splice it in or cut it off. I simply cut mine off. Now what I do is I take my watered down white school glue and I put some, open this up here, I put some onto my collaged side of my cardstock. I bring in my brush and I brush my glue out, and I think it went about this high, and I just brush it out. It's very simple, it's not hard, it's actually very fun. And get that all placed on there like this. Okay, once you get it all brushed out, I'm trying to get the edges here. Okay, take it up just a little bit further because I don't remember exactly where it was, and I'm sure I won't get it perfect down here at the bottom. I'm positive about that. Now, I've got my napkin and it's all ready. Now you could iron this if you wanted to iron it. I just laid it. I started at one side. I got it kind of attached on one end, I should say. And then I just kind of let it go down gently like this. Now, if you get some creases in it, I don't think that's a problem. Personally, I'm going to put some more white school glue right on the top. Now this is where you need to be a little more careful. I'm going to get my brush, kind of, get it to come out just a little bit. All right, this is where you need to be just a little more careful. And I like to start in the center and lightly, so I'm not pressing down, lightly bring out the glue from the center to the edge. And if there's a little crease, just run right over it. Run right over that crease. It'll be just fine. It'll give it texture. So we're not going to be concerned if you have a wrinkle or two. So just, because look at what we're working with, fall leaves. So they're definitely crunchy and textured. Alrighty. Don't play with it too much or you will run the risk of ripping your napkin. I'm taking it to the edge like this. Okay, that's nice. Now you're going to let this dry. It takes a little bit of time, maybe overnight, depending on if it's rainy where you are. I'm going to quickly wipe this up, and we're going to bring in one that is dry. So let me pop that down, and I'm going to bring this one right here. Now this one's completely dry. So it's right on the collage, and you can see the words through it. It's really nice. Now you can either cut this, or you can just pull it like this. It will rip right on the edge. It's not a perfect rip, so if you want it to be straighter and more precise, then go ahead and get your scissors and just trim it. The next thing that I did, this is where you can see where I would collage the back now, and that's what I should have done when I made mine, but I did not. The one that we're going to use looks like this, and I'm going to need to collage the back here in just a second. So my page, this one is, my cardstock, is 8.5 by 11, and this little strip that I have here is 4 inches by 9 3/4. And the reason is because, remember, our napkin wasn't really a big napkin and it didn't go all the way to the edge. So I cut this. So you're going to cut your cardstock that you have collaged and put your napkin on, you're going to cut it to something like 4 inches across and the longest part of your cardstock. All right, so now now you've got a piece that looks just like this. Now this is where, like I was saying, I would want to collage this side. Now you can do it the way I did it the first time, or you could have done that all and then cut it and then be ready to make it. But we want it to have some collage and some interest on the inside as well as the outside. So I'm going to take a few minutes and I'm going to collage this and then we'll continue. All right, so I have collaged the back and I've got it dry. So the next thing I would like to do is we're going to bring in some paint. You know how I love the Folk Art Metallic Pure Gold, or maybe it's another brand, but they're just small bottles that you can get at Walmart or even a craft shop. You're not going to spend that much money on them. I have a very small, inexpensive brush, and I'm going to paint the edge of my little strip that I have here. So I'm going to just run it on the side, and you know, I'm not going to worry about if I got it straight, if I've got too much on one edge and not another. I'm just going to paint it. So running my brush, now see, I went kind of far there. That's okay. It's all right if some is up further, some is lower. What I mean by, you know, I wouldn't paint way up in there, although, you know, you could if you wanted to highlight some of your leaves. This is your project. You do what you want. I'm just showing you how I made mine. So now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to do the exact same thing over here on this side. So I'm going to do that and then we'll continue. All right, so now I have my gold paint on this side and my gold paint on this side. The next thing is I'm just going to fold it right in half, just like this. So bringing it up, hanging on to it while I press it down here. There we go. So pretty. I do like this side. This side's interesting too. So you need to decide which side you want for your front, which do you want for your back. That's a hard decision for me because I like them both. I'm going to choose this side. I really can't tell you why, but I am. I am going to ink up the edge just a little bit. We painted, but I'm just actually going on the edge and not on the top. And the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to trim this up just a little bit. I can see that it's a little out of line. Yeah, I like the way that looks better, and I didn't trim enough off to worry about my gold or anything like that. I still have my gold on. I'm also going to bring in my corner rounder, and I'm barely going to pop off just the point, just like that. Now if you have a machine, you could take it to your machine and you could sew around the edge, and I'm actually thinking that that is what I'm going to do because I did do that in my example. Now if you don't have a machine, don't worry, it's still going to be absolutely gorgeous without sewing, but I do love to sew the paper, so I'm going to run over there and I'm going to sew it. All right, so this is where I brought in my little stamp. Now I purchased this from the thrift store, guys. It is made in Santa Rosa, California, E1046, designed in the USA. I don't know, guys. That's all I know about it. I purchased it at the thrift shop maybe a year ago. And I think I'd like to do a couple of these leaf stamp images. Maybe one coming down like this. That's really nice. sure I am on the right side. It'd be just like me to put it upside down, right guys? And then maybe one like this. Oop. Oh, that's nice. Okay, I really think that's pretty and adds a little. Now you could do some down below if you want to. I'm going to do it on the top. So as you open it up, you would see that. We're going to need to add some papers. I have some yellow colored copy dyed book pages, and they're yellow. Now this is 4 inches across, so I think 3.5 will be plenty. So let's just fold it right here. It's just a little bit more than 3.5. That's not going to be a problem. I'm going to roll it. I think I can get this done like this. And I'm going to roll it one more time and fold it back on itself like that. Okay, I might have to straighten this up a little bit. Now I'm going to bring in my larger guillotine, and I'm going to cut the folds right here. So I'm going to trim this here. And then I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to trim it here. Okay, then I'm going to fold it in half, just like this. Now here's where you could, if you don't mind that look, you could staple it. So you could actually staple it right here and right here. But you know guys, I'm actually going to take it to my machine and I'm going to sew it in. So I'm going to sew it down from the fold just a little bit. If you want, you could highlight it a little bit with a little bit of inking. You could put another leaf stamp on there if you wanted to. That would be sweet. But I'm going to sew this right on just like this. All right, so I have my papers all sewn in. And now let's do some fun stuff. Let's do a little bit of embossing. I have not embossed in the longest time. I'm actually going to do something that's not quite conventional. I'm going to take my art glitter glue, and I'm going to take a little brush. And I wish I had some gold embossing flakes. I do not. I have this pink. I don't think that's a good idea. I have this silver. I don't think that's right either. I have this, and this says it's rose. It's a rosy color. I don't know. I don't see that in there, but this says it's clear. I think that's what I used in my example. This one says it's snow, so that's white. This one is opaque with a little bit of sparkle. And this one is tree branch. I don't think this sparkles at all. But I'm thinking maybe the tree branch. I don't know. I was kind of wanting to try that. I already tried the clear, and it looks like this. You can see it shimmering. So let's just try. Let's just do this. So I'm going to set this over here. I'm going to bring in that piece of paper that I was using, this one right here. And I'm going to take my art glitter glue and this brush, the same brush I used to put the gold paint on the edge. And I'm actually going to paint, or not paint, I'm going to just kind of do the, what do I want to say, the veins of the leaves. And I have to act rather quickly because our glitter glue does dry fast. And I'm just doing the veins. And I'll do this vein. See, as you can see, I'm not being precise, you guys. I'm just getting a little bit of glue where the vein is so that when I add the embossing powder, it will stick. So you don't have to use that special stamp stuff that they have. You can use things like glue and you can just do this. Now I might be spreading it out too much. I don't know, I'm playing around here, guys. I didn't want the globs. You see some of them? Some of it has kind of globs. I really didn't want the globs. So I'm seeing if I can get the globs out. Remove those globs is what I'm trying to do, personally. And, alright, so I can tell it's starting to set up. Alright, so now I'm going to add this, and I'm going to shake it over the top. You guys have never used this before. It's not even open. I've got to hurry, or it's not going to work. Goodness gracious. Hurry, Cathy, hurry. There's no hurrying in getting packaging off, right? Ugh. Especially that kind. Okay, I think I can do it now. There we go. And then we'll shake it on. I've obviously never used this before. I don't know. I don't even know why I bought this color. Who knows? I have no idea. All right. Got that on there. I'm going to tap it off. Oh, that looks cool. So far, so good. I like that. All right, so now I'm going to put this back in here. All right, so I've got my hot, it's huge. It's just huge. It's my heat gun. It's going to be loud, but I hope it's okay with you guys. We're going to turn it on. And we're going to see about melting. I plugged into the wall, that's why I have to be here, and I'm standing up. So, I don't know, I might have to turn it up a little higher. I was trying to not turn it up too high so that you won't be bothered by the noise too much. I can see it starting to melt. I don't know, can you see that too? We'll see what this color turns out to be. It might be good, it might be bad. It's an experiment, guys. I think I'm going to have to turn it up a little bit. Okay. Alrighty. I think we're about done. I think I need to hit this one right here. Let's look at this. Well, it looks pretty good. I don't know which one I like better. If I like the clear or that one. Hang on while I put this up. All right, let's look at this. Well, it does sparkle a little bit, and I don't know, did I really show what this was? It's embossing powder tree branch. Tree branch embossing powder. So that's how that looks, and this is how this one looks. So it is different, but similar. All right, so let's decorate it a little bit. I've got some really cute little trim, and I thought that I could just tack it right there on the top. So I'm going to bring in my hot glue gun, guys, because that's going to make it quick and easy for a video. And I think I'm just going to bring it down about that far. Just lay this over the glue. Goodness gracious. I'm trying to get it so it's halfway straight. I don't know. Did I miss my glue? No, I got it on the glue. There we go. All right, now I'm going to trim it off. I'm looking for my little scissors. Let's give this a trim right here and a trim right here. Now I have some really pretty seam binding, sorry, silk over here in a pile. And I used this beautiful green when I made this one. How pretty that is. And then I've got this orange and I have this gold. I don't know, the gold goes perfect, but I think it needs to have something to make it pop more. Maybe it's this green. I like the green with it best. And I think it's because it's a little darker and it just doesn't get washed out, I think's the word I'm looking for. I'm going to, I always kind of try to find where it's spliced, but obviously that's not going to happen. So I'm going to tie a little bow. I've got this other color, some strings from the orange. Wanted to join in. Okay, how about just a little bow? Yeah, just a little one. Let's trim that off and move this over here so we can see what we're doing. I'm also going to grab a little bit of bling. I grabbed the bling and I grabbed a little bit of the net, and I thought that maybe, I think I might put this maybe, well, I should have brought that down a little further. Do you hear Frankie Francine? She's talking to us. She's either wanting a little attention or she's wanting some more food. She likes to have her food bowl always have something in it. She doesn't overeat. She has that liver shunt, and so she's definitely a needy dog, a needy child. I'm going to cut a little bit of this off like that. And I think I wanted it to be a little more, yeah, scrunched up like that. So I think I can achieve that when I put my bow down, hopefully. Get that right up in there just like that. Okay. That's super cute. I think I'd like to cut this a little bit more right here. She's going to really start barking here in a minute because I'm not answering her. She'll probably hear me talking to you and she wants me to talk to her. All right, so now we've got that decorated up. Wouldn't that be a cute gift for a teacher? I don't know. For some reason, I just think a teacher when I look at this. So there it is with that brownish colored, what do I want to say, embossing powder. And there it is with the clear. I really wish I had had gold. But either way, maybe we should cut this a little shorter. Oh, I'll just leave it just like that. I'll have to see. If you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.